You're watching Newsday TV. Thank you for joining us. I'm Drew Scott. Only in Newsday, the mother of a Long Island sex trafficking victim says Suffolk's new human trafficking court can be a lifeline. Sherry Einhorn has the story.
I probably wish I'd never known.
Lisa Principe's daughter, Jenna Dougherty, struggled a lot during her life. Her mom knows now it was because she was a victim of sex trafficking that began with a brutal gang rape when she was a teenager.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what she lived with. The secrets she had to keep. It's really heartbreaking.
And ended with Jenna ODing on fentanyl after spending years behind bars. Mom says there just wasn't enough help out there.
I think the abuse, the trauma was just too much for her.
Suffolk County now has the state's first human trafficking court. It's here in Central Islip and specifically focuses on children who have been or who are at risk of being trafficked, bringing in experts from multiple organizations. Not every child assigned to this court has been arrested for prostitution, though. There could be physical abuse, drug use, gang affiliation, or any other behavior considered to be risky. Court officials say 30 cases were handled in the first 3 weeks.
When you bring all those experts together to the table, all these different folks, you really can do a comprehensive approach and you see results.
Suffolk County Court's Chief Administrative Judge Andrew Krecka said recent Newsday stories about sex trafficking victims played a significant role in facilitating the creation of the new court. Presiding over these complex cases is acting Supreme Court Justice Fernando Camacho.
We start out with an assessment to see what does this person need, what trauma has they experienced, what issues do they have, are they addicted to a substance, do they have mental health issues, do they need housing, do they need a job, all of those things.
Another key difference in this specialized court is what happens outside of the courtroom once the case is finished and victims start to navigate the challenges that come after.
So even once they're out of the court system, they'll have a resource available to them and also have somebody checking in on them.
Lisa says that's the kind of lifeline that might have helped save her daughter.
I will be advocating for her my whole life.
By doing that, in Jenna's memory, Lisa says she's hoping to help other sex trafficking victims as well.
I can't imagine what these young victims suffer, and I want to stop it because there are bad people out there and they prey on the vulnerable, and that's what they did to Jenna, and I don't want anybody else to end up in my seat without their daughter.
For Newsday TV, I'm Sherry Einhorn.
Read more about this new court on Newsday.com and click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, colleges on Long Island are preparing for the possibility of more pro-Palestinian protests. Some professors are calling for a, quote, reset at Stony Brook University, which saw the biggest protests and arrests on Long Island. Meanwhile, in Nassau, a mask ban was just passed, making it illegal to wear masks in public except for medical or religious reasons. Hofstra, Malloy, and Adelphi say they will comply with the new law. The Hochul administration is in talks with Nassau University Medical Center. Representatives of the governor met with Nassau officials to talk about the short and long-term future of the hospital. NUMC has faced multiple warnings that it could soon run out of cash. There is no word yet on when that next meeting will be. Going to Fire Island this summer may be your last chance to take the pedicabs to get there. Virginia Huey has the story.
I'm upset. I take it every weekend.
Dawn Roberto can't believe the Fire Island Pedicab may not be back next summer. Roberto and her sister Michelle Stelkel rely on the service to take their wheelchair-bound mother to Kismet.
It's upsetting because, we're trying to take her for a nice day trip, and this is very inconvenient if we can't have this.
The service, which provides rides from Robert Moses State Park Field 5 to the border of Kismet, is under review by the State Parks Department to determine whether such a service should continue next year. State Parks officials say they'll analyze the impact that the Fire Island Pedicab has had on Robert Moses State Park operations, including such areas as how much space the business takes up.
This was a right hook, total blindside.
Fire Island Pedicab owner Justin Galbraith started the business 5 years ago. He says the state told him in March that his business might not be able to continue in the same way or at all.
Something triggered it, because you don't run a business for 5 years, and the state doesn't allow you to do that and sign the permit for 5 years, and then just all of a sudden say it's not working.
Galbraith says his business made more than $25,000 last summer. According to State Parks Regional Director George Gorman, the expansion of Galbraith's business is what caused the state to take a closer look at whether it should continue. Gorman says once a business provides a service on state park property that earns more than $25,000 a year, it requires a contract with the state instead of just a permit. Gorman told Newsday, quote, "Basically, the service has expanded greatly. We have to do a thorough review of this now. We have to vet it. We have to make sure it's an appropriate activity within Robert Moses State Park."
There was a concession permit that I signed, and there was it doesn't even say it on the permit that you're allowed to do so much.
If the state decides that a pedicab service should continue, it will open a process for all to bid for a contract to operate the business.
We're going to fight it till we win.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
And you can read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Sports teams, e-sport teams from 54 SUNY campuses are joining an 86-year-old sports conference this fall. SUNY says the video gaming teams will join the Eastern College Athletic Conference. This is part of an effort to put esports on the same level as traditional athletics. Players compete in games like Smash Brothers and Call for Duty. More than 3,000 students are expected to compete. The DMV has released its list of the most popular license plates in the state. Doctors and veterans top the list. Some New York sports teams also made that list, with nearly 3,000 New York Yankees plates on the roads. The Buffalo Bills have just over 2,400. A longtime Long Island football coach is stepping down. Lindenhurst High School's Nick Lombardo unexpectedly announced his retirement, citing health issues. The 57-year-old has coached the team for 15 years, leading them to 2 Long Island titles. Lombardo, who is a Lindenhurst alumni, also coached the Jets tight end Jeremy Ruckert. The district says it'll start interviewing to fill the role next week. Practice starts on Monday. A Massapequa man hit 2 holes in 1 at a golf course upstate.
Somebody got his autograph. He's going pro.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
A chef turned farmer just opened a restaurant in Brookhaven. Erica Marcus has today's Feed Me TV.
If you saw a film about sustainable agriculture set here at Early Girl Farm, you might say, no way. There is no way a real farm could look like this.
With these orderly rows of vegetables, with the herbs themselves labeled not only with their names, but with their culinary uses, with a romantic, picture-perfect grape arbor, with cute little goats nibbling on pasture and nudging at the fence, with the whole farm embraced by tall, sheltering trees, with flowers growing in profusion? Well, you have to see this Brookhaven Hamlet farm to believe it. And now, with the establishment of her first public farm stand, Long Islanders are going to be able to do just that. Patty Gentry first broke ground on these acres 10 years ago.
I started the business to serve restaurants. I was a professional cook for 25 years before I started farming, and my idea was to bring the diversity of a small farm to the kitchen door. Some of the restaurants that we sell to are Stone Creek Inn, Beth's Cafe, Copper Beach, Chachama Grill, Stateroom, and Shan's General.
Why did you decide this year that you wanted to have a farm stand open to the public?
Our CSA is very small, so I wanted to try something different. And I just thought maybe we could increase sales of our vegetables and the things that we grow here. That's why we opened the market as a different revenue stream.
What else will you find at the market? Fruit from Briarmere Farms, artisanal bread from What's in Clark's Kitchen, mushrooms from Mattituck Mushrooms, imported Italian specialties from Gustiamo, and of course, Patty's own flowers. Farmer Patty can't quite stop being Chef Patty. While customers shop, she mans the flat top, making tartines, fancy open-faced grilled sandwiches, and serves salads and shaved ice.
To me, cooking for yourself is a must if you want to be healthy, and it's the most delicious, it's the most simple. That's the whole idea in the market, is taste and try, and to get people enthusiastic about cooking for themselves. And so that's what this farm is all about.
Now for more on this story, just go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a look at your Long Island weather. Hurricane Ernesto is expected to bring rain and dangerous swimming conditions to Long Island shores this weekend. The National Weather Service says the storm will stay offshore to the east of Long Island, thankfully, but could hit Bermuda. It's becoming cloudy over the weekend for us with some rain showers. Sunday highs both weekend days about 78 degrees. Now here's your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Drew Scott. Thank you for watching.